It's 7:30 already. Now we can start this class now. Okay. I hope everybody can hear me. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Oh, all right. Very good. All right. So, let me welcome you once again to Ican case study May 2023 diet present analysis. And here is the outline of what we'll be doing today. Okay. So the first thing we look at is a very brief overview of what ICANN case study is. And we also look at the purpose of getting the present before the exam. Okay. Then we start looking at the present exhibit by exhibit. So apart from exhibit one that I will try to read, like I've sent a notice since 2 days ago that you guys should read the exhibit. So we might not have the time to read other exhibit like exhibit two, three, maybe four. So what we'll do is that we just look at I will flip through over it and then I will allow you to make comments. So we'll do that for each of the exhibits. Then at the end of the day, we have a Q&A session whereby you can ask your question and you can also make contributions. So the note is that for today's class, see, the purpose of getting the present is for you to understand the present. That is the major thing. So for you to understand the present and for you to be able to not to waste so much time for reading the present on the exam day. Okay, so let me say for time management purpose. So what I will say is that after today's present analysis, I will not expect you on the exam day again to start looking at the present as if something has changed. So usually the present will not change; it will be the same present. So they will just add the unseen to it. So that is basically what we want to do. So for you to be able to understand the present very well, that is why we allow the class to make contribution on each of the exhibits. I will allow you to make contribution so that when everyone is making contribution, we have a wider angle to the case, to each of the exhibits. Okay, we have a wider angle to each of the exhibits, and that is how the class will go. Okay, so we can start now. So the first thing on our outline is a quick overview of ICANN case study. So what is ICANN case study? Now, what you should know about ICANN case study is that for medical students, they are to go to the medical school. Okay, and in the medical school, because at the end of the day they will have to treat patients, they will have to interact with human beings, of which they cannot make mistake with people. you know any mistake they make will could cost the life of the patient. Okay, so there is need for them to be exposed to the practicality of the profession, of the medical profession. So the first thing they introduce them to is the for the practicals, they allow them to use what they call cadavers. Cadavers are more like they are dead bodies, you know, given to them by federal government. Usually, federal government will approve that the medical schools should be given dead bodies that doesn't have people to claim them. So they have the dead bodies to work with. So right from the medical school, they will first work with dead bodies. Look at when they study in the classroom, maybe the theoretical part of, let's say, the the brain, for instance. So when they do the theoretical part in the classroom, they also go to the lab to open up a the brain of a cadaver. The cadaver is the closest to reality, is the closest to the practical, is the closest to, is also human who is dead. So it makes them to practice what they are learning. The same thing is applicable to chartered accountants. you know the institute now look at it that, yes, because immediately these accountants, these people get to become chartered accountant, they are qualified, they are certified, they will start interacting with businesses, business owners. They become consultants. They start giving advices to business owners, to businesses. And any mistake they made that time could cost money. And some people are not very good with money. Some investors are not very good emotionally with money. Like, if they lose their money, it could cost them their life. Okay, so for chartered accountant not to be making such a mistake when they qualify, that is one of the reason why case study has been introduced to the institute program, so that before you qualify and start interacting with businesses, then they want to give you the opportunity to interact with businesses. And that is one of the reason why cases we have these days are very close to reality. More of them, most of them are, they are a real life scenario. I can talk about the March July 2020 case. you know in that was the COVID-19 era. And initially we were given around March, we were given Preseen already. Sorry, I said March. Yes, it was we were supposed to have three died that year. So around February we were given, either early March or February, we have been given the Preseen. So when the COVID started, the Preseen was, they now brought another Preseen. By the time we had to take the exam after the COVID, I mean the lockdown has been eased. So they brought another case. What I'm saying is that the case they later brought now tested the COVID. It tested the COVID. So what I'm saying is, for you to interact with businesses, for you to have a feel of what you will be doing when you qualify, when you become consultant, that is one of the reasons why case study has been introduced. Okay, so what are those skills that you need for to do well in case study? So you need your you need your analytical skill. You need your analytical skill. Okay, you need your communication. You need communication skill. You need analytical skill. You need communication skill. So there are other skills, but these are the two most important skills that you need for case study. So the analytical skill, for instance, these are the skills that help you to analyze the case. you know you know these are the things that you need to in order to be able to analyze the case, right? So what are those? So there are three analytical skills that can be used to solve any case. Yes, even other cases. Maybe I know some of you will likely go to other countries to study. you know you will still take case study. If you are still going for finance related course, you still do case study. So it will still be this analytical skills that you will use them. So what are those analytical skills? We have just three of them. Okay. So we have the business business analytical business analytical skill. Okay. So some other time we call it operational and strategic analytical analytical skill, right? So this is what you call business analysis, and it is when it is under this analytical skill that you can use business models like SWOT, pastel benchmarking model, Porter's five forces model, value chain model, and all those business models that you were taught in CSME in your skill level. Okay. The other one is the financial financial statement analytical skill. So for financial statement, hello, yes, yes, I can confirm it is being recorded. Okay. So the second one is the financial statement analytical skill. And this is where we do financial analysis. We analyze the financial statement. We can use, so the tools we use there are um, for case study purpose. We use trend analysis and ratio analysis. These are the two key tools that we use. We can also use common size analysis, but because of time, you will not really have so much time in the exam to to combine all these tools or yes, all these tools. So you can just focus on trends and ratios. Okay. So the last one is the financial data analytical skill. So for financial data analytical skill, here is when here is where you use all the techniques that you have learned in your SFM, the appraisal techniques, all the project appraisal techniques, project evaluation techniques, um, all those techniques are applicable here. And usually, this will form your usually more recently, this usually come as requirement two, where they will give you maybe value of the cost of an investment or the cost of a plant and machinery that the case your clients in the case want to buy. They give you other financial data details like the cost of capital, the cash flows and all that. So what you will do there is either you use the NPV, the payback period, the internal rate of return. You could use the IRR, MIRR. All those techniques can be applied in this scenario. Okay. So in other words, these are the three analytical skills that will be applied or that can be used to solve any case, including the one you are doing this diet. So these are the three analytical skills. So the other skill is the communication skill. Yes, in communication skill, what I want to focus on is the report writing skill. And the report writing skill is the way you communicate, your findings above with these tools, with these analytical skills and tools, the way you now communicate it to the audience in the case, the way you communicate to your client in real life. That is what communication skill is all about. So for case study, there is a format that Ican has as is expecting each and every one of you to present your report. So let me give you a very skeletal format of the way the report should be presented. So the report is expected to have a cover page. It should have a cover page followed by an executive summary, then followed by an introduction, okay, followed by an introduction, then followed by the body of the report. So under the body of the report, you should have part one. You should have part one for requirement one. We should have subpart like subsection. This is like section one. So you should have subsection like subsection including. So let me say this should have subsections. Sorry, this should this should have subsections, including conclusions and recommendations. Okay. Then part two, part two, part two for part two requirement for requirement part two for requirement two. We should have we should also have its own conclusions and recommendations. Okay, okay. Then your appendix. So this is a very this is a very uh, this is the skeletal way of that your report is expected to be presented. Okay, this is a skeletal way by which your report is expected to be presented, right? Okay, so that is that about the communication, right? So what is the purpose of the Preseen? So I'm done with the overview of Ican case study. Let's go to the purpose of the Preseen. So why do we have the Preseen? So you should just know the reason why we have this Preseen. I will quickly switch. Let me quickly switch my screen now, so that we can check from the Preseen. Okay, please. I will I will stop this screen now. Okay. Okay. So this is the May 2023 diet Preseen. And let's go to the yes, let's go come to this page. Now look at it. This material is issued prior to the exam date to enable candidates familiarize themselves. So the first thing is that you get familiarized with the what? With the case scenario. With the case scenario. So the first reason why you are given this is to get yourself familiarized with the case scenario. Get, see where possibly the direction the scenario is going. Understand where the scenario is coming from. Okay, particularly you want to understand this particular part of the case, right? So the other thing is to undertake any research. So except this diet, usually for some diets now, before now we should have seen uh uh some documents whereby people will start sharing uh cases that are related to this case. We have seen that before. So, and when we look at it, it will be very related, and it will also give us a wider angle, wider knowledge, wider it will help us to get more familiarized with the case scenario. But we couldn't get that in this diet. The other thing is to analyze, or to do some analysis as you think fit, right? So to do some analysis. So these are the three most important reasons why you have the Preseen. Okay, these are the three most important reasons why you have the Preseen, and that is why this will guide our Preseen analysis this evening. Okay, so the next thing we will quickly go to is reading and discussion of the Preseen. So we go to the reading and discussion of the Preseen now. So, and like I've said earlier, what the way we do it is we treat the Preseen exhibit by exhibit, so that at the end of the day, at the end of the day, there won't be any need for you to still go back and be reading the exhibit again. We would have looked at every bit and pieces of the four exhibit. So that is that. Then for the Preseen, unfortunately, for the Preseen, we were just given four exhibits. We are given just four exhibits. The first one is about you and your employer. Okay. Then the second one is about your client in the case, the Dudley Cement Nigeria Limited, DCNL. Then we are also given a 3-year financial summary. We are given 3-year financial summary, and we are also given the proposed growth strategies for the client, right? These are the four exhibits that we are given, right? So let's go to exhibit one. I don't want to waste so much time because of the recording. Okay, so this is exhibit one. So I will read. I will read only this exhibit one. So I expect you to have read the other exhibits, the exhibit two and the exhibit four. I expect you to have gone through those exhibits already. So we may not have time to do that. So once I read the exhibit, I want you to pay close attention. Once I'm done reading, I will throw I will throw it open for you to make your comment. So I will allow you to make comments for maybe 5-10 minutes. Then I will make my own comment. Then we move to the next exhibit. So the next exhibit we will not read it. I will not read it, but I will allow you to make comments, or possibly if you have time, then maybe I can read, but we will likely not read it. Okay, so exhibit one. Exhibit one. About you, Thomas Chukwudi, and your employer, Chikwelu Adedigba, Kamal and Co. Chartered Accountant. You are Thomas Chukwudi, a prospective Ican Chartered Accountant working for Chikwelu Adedigba, Kamal and Co. Chartered Accountant. You report to Dare Adedigba, the business advisory partner. Your responsibilities include: one, preparing detailed financial analysis and reports as may be required by your firm's clients. Two, analyzing your client's financial statements to identify areas of weakness and profiling likely solutions to correct the anomalies. Three, assessing operational and strategic business proposals to see how each aligns with the client's objectives and its impact on the client on the business on the company's business and financial risks. Assessing your clients assessing your firm's client's financial and business forecast together with the assumptions upon which they are based to form judgments and propose recommendations to their prospective board, to their respective board. And lastly, drafting your reports for your it was meant to be for your advisory partners perusal and approval before sending them to your clients. Your responsibilities demand that you keep abreast of the business and economic environment, both nationally and internationally, so as to be able to carry out the above tasks effectively. So this is the exhibit one. So now I will open up the I will open up the class for you to make your comments. So if you want to make comments, unmute yourself, unmute yourself and make your comment. Or if you have the feature to raise up your hand, so for we to have a decorum, so you can raise up your hand, I will call you, then you can make your comment. Okay, I can see people. Yes, fola Folajimi Dosunmu. Okay, you can make your comments now. Folajimi Dosunmu. Right. We are listening. Okay. Is that your comment? Don't just comment. Don't worry. Comment. Let others comment as well. Okay. The other person, I missed the name. Who else is Shehu? Shehu, go on. All right. Okay. Why? Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Any other person? Any other person? Godwin. Godwin, go on. Hello, Godwin. We are listening to you. Any other person? Any other contribution? Okay. Oluwakemi Amosun. Okay. Okay. Analyzing your client financial statement to identify areas of weakness. All right, thank you. Tari, you can make your comment now. Tari. Tari, are you there? Okay. Abidin. Abidin. Abidin, go on now. Okay, health matters. Health matters. I don't know if that is your name. Hello. Yes, we are with you. We are with you. Good evening. You're welcome. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that wonderful comment. That is fantastic, I must say. Matthew Agboola. Tari, please mute your mic. Tari, mute your mic, please. I can hear you. Go on. Matthew, can you please move closer to your mic? Your voice is very faint. Move closer to your mic. Yes. Okay, thank you. All right, Tari. Tari, you can go on now. Yes, we are with you. Okay. Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Any other comments? Any other comment? Okay, because of time, fine. That is, you have all done fantastically well. Honestly, I must say that. I must commend you guys. You have done fantastically well, and you have made fantastic comments. I'm proud of you. Now, starting from the first sentence there, that about you, Thomas, and your employer, Shikwelu Adedigba Kama and Co. So whenever whenever you so the first thing is, there are two types of reports: internal and external report. Okay, so when we are having internal report is when, in the case, you are an accountant of the company in the case, and you have to report to the board. It makes it an internal report. You are not sending the report outside the complaint, so it's an internal report. Some people call it memo. I don't care about memo or whatever they call it. For case study purpose, it takes the same format, right? And whenever you are working in a firm of chartered accountant, and you are attached, or you are assigned to a client, and you write a report to that client, that makes it an external report, because the report will be coming from the firm to the client. In fact, it was before now. Ican does not, they make it confusing to students, okay, to candidate writing the exam. But here now, they now say that drafting report for your, they meant to say, business advisory partner, or to the firm advisory partner, peruser and approver, for his peruser and approver, before doing what? Before sending the report to the client. Okay, so this makes it an external report. And the reason why, so you might say, yes, what does it take to write external and internal reports? Fine, you may ask that. But the major reason why you have to determine whether it is an internal report or external report is that the difference between the two is that the external report will carry a disclaimer. It will carry a disclaimer, and a disclaimer in this exam is 1 mark. I can tell you that a disclaimer is 1 mark. So God forbid someone has tried and has come up with just 49 marks, but the person refused to put a disclaimer on the external report, you know. So that is the first thing I will say. So the report, I can tell you, uh that it's an external report. Okay, all right. So the other thing is the first responsibility, which says that the first and second responsibilities, which says that preparing detailed financial analysis and reports as may be required by your client. Like someone said the other time, this means that we will be doing financial statement analysis. So like I told you the other time, so I told you that there are three analytical skills. The first one is operational and strategic analytical skill, business analysis, where you use SWOT and all those models. The second one is financial statement analysis. The third is financial data. So, and these three analytical skills will form the two requirements. So the two requirements we ask you to use either two or the three analytical skills. So for the past, since 2019 now, we have been using two analytical skill, majorly the financial statement analytical skill and financial data analytical skill. I can tell you that since November 2019, we have been doing that, right? And another reason why this is important is that there is no way we'll be doing financial, business analysis, or doing analyzing a case, or analyzing a business, that we will not look at the business analysis. I mean, the financial statement analysis. The reason is the financials of the business is more like the day-to-day record keeping, like day-to-day journals. Like when people keep journals in when people keep journals of their daily activities, the same thing is applicable to businesses, but they keep it in numbers. So the numbers will be transformed into financial accounts, and the financial accounts can only be can are most meaningful to accountants most of the time. But non-accountant find it difficult to understand it. So there is no way, including the investors, potential investors, and some maybe government officials and all that, they find it to understand. So as the business expert, as the financial analyst, as an accountant, you have to be able to interpret these figures, turn it around, and do it in a way that will be meaningful to the users. So there's no way we will not be doing financial analysis. And this has just confirmed that. The first responsibility has confirmed that. Meanwhile, the second responsibility, now listen, says that analyzing your client's financial statement. Analyzing your client's financial statement to identify what areas of weakness. Now look at it, areas of weakness. So my own understanding is that the areas of weakness, because we are doing financial statement analysis, see, they just said it here, and you identify areas of weakness, right? So the areas of weakness here to me means that where are the areas where the ratios of the client are not doing good or are not okay. Those are the weaknesses in this financial statement. Unlike the notion, I think I had someone said that because they have mentioned areas of weakness, that means we do. The person suggested that it will likely be that we do SWOT analysis and all that. Which what I understood about that is that they will be doing business analysis. That that is not right. I can tell you that that is not right. But I don't want to be very sure of that because I'm not the one that will set this exam. So I don't want to be um saying. So what I want to say is that that may not be right. And the way you will agree with me is go and check from November 2019. We have been having this same responsibilities, words for words, if not for the I mean the time in sharing, I mean in switching to other PDF files, I would have shown to you from November 2019 to last diet. We have been given this responsibility word for word, and we have never had business analysis in those diets, right? So I can tell you that we have never had business analysis in those diets, and we likely not have business analysis in this diet, right? So I can now tell you that these two responsibilities are the same. They're just trying to tell you what you should look out for. So you likely be seeing weaknesses, maybe some strengths as well. Where the ratios are okay, you have to commend them as well. Where the ratios are bad, you prefer solution to correct those anomalies. And where the ratios are doing okay, then you commend them and ask them to keep that up to maintain that performance, right? So the third one is saying assessing operational and strategic business proposals. Now, I know many of you, when you see operational and strategic something, because I've mentioned operational and strategic analytical skill, which means business analysis. And when you see it here, you likely want to say, this is business analysis. But look at it. Of they now attach something strategic business proposals. Now, here is the twist in this responsibility. Now, what I know about business proposals are like your clients in this case will likely have some customers or the board saying they are proposing a particular investment, possibly in an asset or in a plant and machinery or in a new business, right? That is a proposal. Now, when you in that proposal, what do you think you will have? You likely have the cost to be incurred in that investment, the possible cash flows to be gotten from that, the maybe the cost of capital, maybe some other financial data that are not related to financial statement on the project. Now, if that is the case, it means that you are no longer doing business analysis. When it is proposal, you are doing financial data analysis, and what you will likely have there is that you likely be using financial data analytical tools like the NPV, the IR, the MIR, the all those appraisal tools. You know, you likely be doing them. Maybe contribution, maybe you be doing contribution analysis. It could be cost profit volume analysis, break even analysis, all those appraisal tools that you use in PM and SFM will likely fall in here. Okay, so I can tell you that the third responsibility is rather suggesting something different, more like financial data analysis, which is where you do appraisal of business proposals, of business of investment, of assets, of plants and machinery and all that. Okay, please take note of that. Okay. However, I don't want you to rely on that 100% because we don't really have so much information to back that up. And I can tell you that I'm not the one that will set the exam. So the examiners can decide to go any way they like, right? But from the past experience that we have had, from November 2019 cases that we have had, this has been the case. So we likely have a financial data analysis as our second requirement. Okay. And the reason why this is important is it will guide you not to make a mistake in the exam, because once you go and do anything that is not required in the exam, see what it means is that that particular requirement one is about 32 marks, requirement two is about 32 marks, right? So if you go and do something that is not required in requirement two, that means you have got it all wrong. 32 marks is gone into the air. It goes back to the examiner, right? Then assessing your client's financial and business forecast together with assumptions upon which they are made, right? So we have been having this. So possibly you'll be given a forecast and all that. But the thing is, if you are given a forecast, it will also fall in under financial data. A forecast is a financial data, right? Because it will likely not belong to financial statement that is the statement of the accounts of the business. Okay. Then lastly, I think we have talked about drafting your report for your partner's perusal, which is fine. Now, for the responsibility demand that you keep abreast of the business and economic environment. Yes, what they are suggesting is that as an analyst, there's no way you want to analyze a business that you don't understand the business, the industry it operates in. There's no way you don't get it, because the happenings in that industry will inform your ability to make judgment about the performance of the business. Like, what are those? Let's look at telecommunication industry, for instance. So your ability to understand what is happening in that industry will help you to analyze a company in that industry. You know that there is serious competition in that industry. when MTN says I'm slashing my tariff by 11 a.m., by 12 p.m., by 12 p.m. in the same day, you will see Glo do the same thing. Before 3 p.m., you will see Airtel do the same thing. You will see other network do the same thing. So you have to understand the environment so that you know how economic factors like inflation, exchange rate, insecurity and all that, how they affect the business environment and how they have affect the financials or performance of the business. So that is, to me, that is one of the reasons why they put this here. Okay, okay, okay. So is there any comment on the exhibit one before we move to exhibit two? Any comment? Any comment? No comment. Thank you. Okay. Right. All right. Go on, Oluwakemi. Okay. Yes. Okay. No. Go on. Go on. Is that all? So this is it. Requirement one 32 marks. Requirement two 32 marks. That is about 64, right? Executive summary is 20. That is 84. So we have about 16 marks left. Okay. So here is where the 16 marks is hiding. The appendix that you create for the requirement one and two is for 4 marks. That is 8 marks. Okay. Then then there are some other things like page numbering, um punctuations, disclaimers, some other little things like that. They also carry they also carry they also carry 8 marks. Okay, so we call it overall report. So that is the whole marks of exam. So quickly, let's move to exhibit two. So we don't really have time. We don't have time to read the exhibit two. So I like I said, I've asked you to read ahead so that you can make your comments now. Okay. All right. So I will allow you to start making your comment. You can raise up your hand to make your comment now on the exhibit two. Oluwakemi, go on. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, Oluwakemi. Any other person? All right. It matters. Okay. All right. Any other person? Mofe, go on. You can go on, Mofe. All right. Good evening. All right. Thank you. Any other comments? Okay. Oluwakemi. All right. Thank you. Any other person? Okay. We have someone. It matters. All right. Thank you. Any other person? Any other contribution? Okay. All right. So the SCB2, usually we normally have SCB2 to talk about the industry or maybe the history of the business. And the idea is that, like I said earlier, there's no way you will analyze a business without going deep into the background of the business. You have to know where the business is coming from, which can help you to also key into the direction the business is going. Okay. So from what we have seen so far, we have seen that the business has been growing since 19 the business was established in 1956 and has been growing since then. So, and the way you see, if you look at the way they grow, you will see that they have this flair for business growth. Okay. Okay, because look at it here. They said the company had become one of the largest cement companies in the country in terms of capital investment, right? In 1992, another plant was added in Ogun. In 2003, the company acquired its fifth plant in Enugu. In 2013, Its sixth plant sited also in Enugu with 3 million metric tons per annum capacity, the largest cement plant in Nigeria at present. So this shows that it's a it's a kind of business that has flair, that has drive for growth. They want to expand. They always want to expand, right? Now, they also said that the business was the business was listed on the floor of Nigerian Stock Exchange in 1983. Now, the major thing we should think about here is that fine, they got listed. It means, what is the benefit of getting listed on the stock exchange? It means your stock will be quoted, right? And it means the public can subscribe to the shares, which also means that they will be able to raise any capital that they want to raise, which also means that in relation to their growth drive, so whenever they have this growth strategy in mind, it means they can always get the fund required to execute the growth strategy. That is what I can say from there. Right. The other area where this particular information is useful is, like Oluwakemi said the other time, when you are writing the, so under the introduction, apart from the content, the table of content, there is need for you to write an overview of the business. I can tell you for free that this is applicable in everywhere. Like writing an overview of the business is applicable. It's applicable everywhere. I can tell you that. Even when you travel out to go and do your MSc and you are doing finance and you are doing case study, they will still ask you to write an overview. So there's need for you to write an overview. So I think information, this information are more like the information that the users of this report will likely want to see. Okay, the users of this report will likely want to see. So let's even assume some other external people will see the report, right? So it will make them to understand where the company is coming from, where they are presently, and possibly where they are going, right? So they also said that it had a market capitalization approximately 448 billion. Okay, this just confirm what we said the other time, that because they are listed, they're able to raise additional capital anytime they need it, making it one of the largest cement company in Nigeria by market capitalization. So in terms of market capitalization, they are the largest, they are the biggest, they are the biggest, which means they can go into acquisition of other businesses in the same industry, or they can do some backward integration and all that. They have the fund, they have the capital, they have the financial muscle. What they are trying to say is that this company is a very powerful company in this industry. They also talked about the awards they have received, right? Okay. They also talked about their operational performance, that their productivity, their quality, their, you know, like someone have said, these are more like strength. And again, I don't want you to all just say that, now we don't know the requirement that is coming. We may jolly well also do business analysis, right? So these are useful in business analysis, strengths and all that. But when you are also doing your financial statement analysis, they are also useful. That is what I'm saying. They are also useful because when you see them making fantastic profit, what do that tell you? It means their marketing excellence has paid off. Their innovation has paid off. Their their product quality has paid off. Those things drive sales as well. They are non-financial factor that drive sales. When we talk about the what do we call it? Oh God, this just the thing ran from me. Um, okay, don't worry. When we look at different perspective, can someone remind me? Um, When we are looking at different perspectives in analyzing a business, balance, God bless you, balance scorecard. So these are also some other non-financial factors that drive sales. So possibly when you are analyzing the business, you are doing financial analysis. These are points that you can use to back up your reasons, the reasons why they are making profits or why they are making losses. These are the points that you can use. Okay. Then they also talked about the competitors in the industry. The major competitors are the Dangote and the Nigerian cement, right? And I think what they are trying to say is that um, the what do you call it? Dudley Dangote. I mean, Dudley and others, they contribute, I mean, they control 90% of the market share, which means that, see, 90% of the market share means that that is 90% of, let's say, Nigerians, right? 90% of Nigerians. So whenever they come up with any product, it means that there is ready market. That is what they are saying. That is the message that they are passing. Whenever Datley comes up with any product, any new product, there is ready market that is ready to buy it. So they will always sell, they will always make profit. Okay, so when you are analyzing new product that they are saying, these are some of the factors that you will use to tell them that because of this factor they will likely sell that product. Okay, then someone has talked about the board management. I think I don't have any comment on that. The person has made a fantastic comment. Then we have their mission and all this. Fine, they are okay. Then we also have their corporate social responsibility and sustainability. This is fine. So they are socially responsible business organization. So this is the exhibit 2. They gave us the industry information, the background of the business, okay, and the management structure of the business. So let's quickly go to exhibit 3. So the exhibit 3 is basically the um the uh, the financial statement, right? So we are given the balance sheet, we are given the income statement. So the first stage in financial analysis is you look at the figures. Like, we can start from the, what do you call it, you can start from the income statement. You look at the figures. How are they doing? So if you look at revenue, for instance, revenue was um 115. This is billion, right? This is in billion. Okay, this is billion, 115 billion in this year. It increased to 126 billion in 2019. It went to 134 billion in 2020. It shows that the business is growing. They are growing in sales, in terms of sales and revenue. They are growing. Meanwhile, if you look at their cost of sales, you see that the cost of sales is also growing. Okay, and their gross profit is also, by implication, the gross profit is also growing and all that. So if you look at their operating profit, is also growing, right? It means they are able to control, they have a reasonable operating profit. We can't say, but merely looking at it, you see it's okay. It's which means that they have been able to control their direct cost. They have been able to control their overhead cost as well. And if you look at their profit, they are making fantastic profit as well. Okay, so this tells you that this business is doing fine. But the only thing I can pinpoint out of this is the the presentation of the financial statement of financial position is not right. Fine, we can say that this is a 3-year financial summary. Okay, but even as it is financial summary, it should have followed the IS1 standard on presentation of financial statement. Like the assets should be classified into current and non-current assets, liabilities into current and non-current liabilities. So why I'm saying this is, I think while I was preparing for this class, the thing came to my mind. So you can raise this in your professional skepticism. Like, fine, this is their financial summary, but we hope this is not the same way they are like preparing their actual annual report. Okay, okay, because that will not speak so well of them, right? So some other things you can do that I will ask you to do is you can you can try the all the group of ratios, that are applicable. You can try them on the financial statement. Just try them and try to look at different areas. Okay, so in our Preseen analysis, we don't usually go into doing ratios and all that. We do because people can do their ratios in different ways, and you are also advised to do the ratios yourself. Do the ratios yourself so that one, you practice with speed how to compute those ratios. You learn how to do those ratios, and you also learn how to interpret those ratios. So that is exhibit 3. So lastly, on the exhibit 4, before we close, we have the proposed growth strategies. So I've just, yes, hello. Okay, 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 yes. Oh, okay. Yes, yes. Your ratios can be linked to it. It can be linked to it. Like, we can look at we can say that, what is the ratio of the finance costs, either the finance cost or the net finance cost on the revenue, you know, on the revenue. So if it is showing that it is high, then we can, and at the end of the day, we see that we can confirm that their loan, let's see their loan, for instance, loans and borrowing, it was, look at it, 23.5 billion, 22.5 billion, but reduced to 4.5 billion in 2020. So if the loans are very high, then we can it is high. And we also look at the leverage, and the leverage is high. So it means that they are because they are growth driven organization, and they are taking so much loan, to drive the growth. That may impact on their profitability in the long run, if they continue to do that. But if you look at this now, you see that they are moving away from loan and borrowings. Okay, okay. So, but it may have impact in the analysis, like you have said. All right, let me continue on the exhibit 4. They have future growth. So this is a meeting they had, the board had, and they have come up with some growth strategies. Okay, okay. So these are the strategies. They said the first one is scout for existing cement operating in the part of the country where the company does not have presence, which the company can acquire or merge with. Now, if you see this, when we say merger and acquisition, dis fall under financial data analysis. Okay, so possibly this is also an hint to say that we likely be doing financial data analysis. So what I would suggest here is that please you can go and read up on merger and acquisition. Just revise your memory on in the SFM. Revise your memory on merger and acquisition. Okay. There are no cement for if there are no cement for acquisition or merger, then the company will have to build new cement plants. You know, if they are to build new cement plants now, they will have to incur cost. They will look at the possible interest they will make from it. They will have cost of capital. They have possible inflows from that plan, which also suggests what? It strongly suggests financial data analysis. Scout for an overseas plant with vibrant products and enter into franchise agreement. This also suggests financial data because if you enter franchise, you will pay and you will expect some profit from it. Then introduce new products, block and pasta and block pasta and falcon already developed by the company research and development department into the market in the next 6 months. Now, this also suggests business analysis because we can talk about what is that model that we use to analyze a new product that is going into the market. Um, is it not Porter strategic clock? Yes. So it could go, the case could also go in that direction. But from year to year, this strongly suggests that it will likely go in the direction of financial data analysis. So these are the four exhibits presented to us in the case, and we have gone through them. And I want to believe the way we have looked at the exhibit, the way we have discussed, there is nothing else that you do not understand about this what do you call it, this present already. So the next thing we do here is we have we have about 5 minutes more for Q&A before we close for today. We have just 5 minutes. All right, 5 minutes. Okay, Oluwakemi. Table of content. Okay, what's the second question? Okay, all right. So the let me start from the second question. The operational and strategic analytical skill, the business analysis is about analyzing the business using a business model, business strategy model, like the SWOT and PESTEL. That is business analysis or operational and strategic analytical skill. The financial data analytical skill, on the other hand, like I've explained earlier, I know I've explained when we commence this class, is when you do project appraisal. How do you appraise all these proposals or all these growth strategies that they have planned, when they give you their cost of capital, when they give you the the outflow, when they give you the outflow, when they give you the possible inflows, how do you analyze it, how do you appraise it? So that is just the difference between the two. So the other question you asked, you said what is the difference between the overview and background? So the background is just, yes, like background of the business, like we said, look at little information that we talk about the background of the business. Okay. So the difference is the overview. The overview, when you are doing financial statement analysis, you could have overview. You could have overview, and the overview will come in the form of possibly trend analysis. Just bring in the trends of the business, analyze the trend. Maybe you may not really need to talk about the trend, but just bring in the trend, how the revenue has increased over the years, what percentage and what amount. You bring in, you may look at revenue, cost, and so that is overview in financial statement analysis. But when you are doing financial data analysis, you also have overview, because the first thing you will do is you can call it overview of the project, of all these projects, if these are the things that they will bring. So this is where you talk about this project, give information about the information they've provided about this project. You should give it. So what I would say is that I've made some video on this. Please go and watch the video on YouTube. I have some YouTube videos on this, so they are very explanatory. You can watch it on them. But so, but the one that is very close to the background is when you are doing business analysis and you want to do overview under the section one, right, or under the section two, or anywhere it comes. So the overview is almost the same thing, but what I can say will be the difference is that the background will be shorter, and the overview under the report will be much more, right? That is the difference. I hope I've answered your question. Any other question? All right. Yes. Is that your question? Any other person? Any other person? Any, any other person? All right, go on. Go, go on, go on. Right. Mm, okay. All right. All right. So franchise agreement, this is how it works. I may not be right because I don't have experience in it, but this is what I know about franchise. So someone has built a name, like let me use what do you call it? ShopRite has built its name. It's operating everywhere. Okay. Okay, let's say ShopRite is operating in in Abuja. We don't really have ShopRite in Lagos. There's no ShopRite in Lagos. And you want to trade under the name of ShopRite in Lagos, but you don't want to acquire ShopRite, you don't want to merge with ShopRite, but you still want to trade under that name. So you will enter into an agreement with ShopRite. You will pay some money to ShopRite, which will be like the outflow, right? You pay some money, Shoprite will also give you some assets, some of its equipment. It can also give you some of its staff to come and help you to start up the business. Okay, okay, and that looks more like financial data analysis to me. You have paid some money, you are expecting some inflow, you may be, it looks more like financial data analysis to me. So that is basically how franchise could go. All right. Any other person? Any other question? All right. Professional skepticism. Thank you. Yes, yes. That is where you. Okay, go on. Good. So you are trying to take us back to the lecture. You are taking us back to lecture. Today is not for lecture, but I will still try to answer the question. So issues and options are more like, what are the other one? What are the other ratios that you have not brought in? When you are under the um professional tools and knowledge, that is where you bring in some ratios, and those ratios are the ones directly answering the requirement. You bring them in under professional tools and knowledge. However, you still have some other ratios that are useful in the case, and you are not bringing them in. So those other ratios are the ones that will come up in under issues and options. The other way the issues and option works is that you can also reinterpret those ratios you have brought in before and link them to internal factors. Let's say poor corporate governance, or poor management, or poor financial management has led to poor marketing and all that, and it has affected their performance. Okay, so that is issues and options. Any other question? Any other question, please? Okay, so if there are no other questions, let me make my final and closing remark. So, what we have done today is we have achieved the major reason for this present, which is for you to understand the present. And now you can see that the angle the present is going is that they will likely want to see how they are performing in terms of their financial analysis, how they are performing, how they are making profits. Is the business profitable? Is it growing or not? Maybe they may likely want to see their liquidity. Okay, they may want to see their liquidity also. So that is one side. The other side is that the case is going in a direction of the business trying to expand. They want to expand. They have this drive, this strong drive for expansion. And when expansion comes with cost, you know, so how will they finance this expansion? That could be one of the direction is going. How can they finance this expansion? Are they going to go back to the stock exchange, or to go and raise funds there, or are they going to issue new shares, or are they going to take loans? Okay, so how do they go about this? So we have achieved that. So what I will tell you is, please do some ratios on the financials. Just look at the group of ratios that those ones that are applicable to the scenario. Apply all the ratios, those ones that you can compute, apply them, and try to come up with a kind of report on what you have done. I will also advise you to visit or to go and revise merger and acquisition, all the project appraisal techniques in your SFM. So those of you who are doing SFM should not have problem with this kind of case. Okay. So the other thing I will say is that please work on your time management. Manage your time very well. Manage your time very well. So there's no need for you to start reading Preseen again. Go to the unseen immediately. Read the unseen twice, break down the requirement, then start your analytical work. Don't spend too much time on your ratio computation. Maximum of 30 minutes should be enough for you. Once you are done with the computation, write the report on the financial analysis. You shouldn't spend more than 45 to 1 hour on it. Okay, immediately you are done with that, move to requirement two. Do whatever computation you need to do, then write the report. By the time you are done with the report on the requirement two, then quickly move to executive summary. And once you are done with that, I'm sure if you can keep to this, you will do very well in the exam. So I want to wish you all the best in the coming exam. And here is where we draw the curtain to the present analysis for the May 2023 diet. So I wish all of you all the best in this exam. And I wish that the next time we'll be talking when the result comes out, we will have 100% pass rate again. We have done that before more than once, more than twice, and I wish we do that again in this diet. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. All right, all right. Good night, everyone.